It's a coincidence that the Bavarian Illuminati was inaugurated in 1776.
Who lost a loved one has been pushing for the change.
Landed a ship at my airport in 1953.
Welcome back everyone to more creepy TikToks, and apologies for the lack of uploads the last week or two. We've just been working tirelessly in this other project and to get that finalised by the 25k special. But if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe button, and let's dive in.
Someone who works at McDonald's has just sent me photos of inside the ice cream machine, and it is the most disgusting thing you will see today. Before I show you the detailed photos, we've had this submission from someone who works at McDonald's, and they've said, okay, please keep me anonymous as I could lose my job. I'm an engineer and do work for various companies, including McDonald's. One of my main jobs is to fix their ice cream machines. They are notorious for constantly breaking. When I tell you, I've seen some horrific sights. 85% of them aren't cleaned properly, and you'll almost always find mold, gunk, and dirt inside. Here's a few photos. Most of these are in East London. If you've seen what I've seen, I promise you would never eat a McDonald's, especially the ice creams and drink. I cannot believe my eyes. This is a photo from inside an ice cream machine in East London, and that is absolutely grim. Honestly, look at all of the dirt and grime inside that machine. I can tell you for sure I will not be eating an ice cream from McDonald's again. This page is called Takeaway Trauma for a reason, and honestly, that is what you call traumatic. Honestly, look at the inside of this machine. That is absolutely wild. Look at all of the gunk and dirt, and then all of the ice cream just splurting out. And this one's not actually one of the worst ones, but look at all of that dirt on the right-hand side. That is grim. These are all the photos together, and honestly, this is probably one of the worst sights I have ever seen in doing this page. Honestly, just look at that. That is like green, white, black. Honestly, I have never eaten anything from McDonald's again after seeing these photos.
McDonald's should change their ice cream names from McFlurries to McDirties. At least that way they can always keep their machines in order.
How dare you! You have stolen my dreams with your empty words.
Nope, this is not a ball of hair, but a deadly bioweapon that is spreading all across the US fast. And if you just see it, your life is already over. People were terrified to hear of a deadly creature that is spread all across the East Coast with hundreds of tiny spikes all across their body, hidden in the hair. And people are being put on life support, as even just slightly going near it and touching it can cause a pain compared to a hot knife moving under your skin to even being amputated while awake. With one teen accidentally touching one of these as they like to hide under and behind leaves, and within just a few seconds the teen had to be rushed to the ER as he was uncontrollably seizing.
Never expected like a caterpillar to have so much of an effect. Like the whole arm was numb, but it felt like it was on fire.
Many of the other symptoms are also things like difficulty breathing, swelling, vision problems, stomach problems, and searing pain. The symptoms are reported to last up to weeks without relief and would require medical grade treatment just for it to be bearable. Known as the pus caterpillar, make sure if you go out to a garden to wear shoes and to not touch anything without examining it.
How long before Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates integrate those little fellas into our food chain?
We just had a storm here in McKinney, Texas, and this is a literal first for us. I am 50 years old, and never in my life have I seen a sky like that. What the hell is going on?
I've never seen a video look quite like that. It looks as though the video was taken using like a negative filter or like an X-ray filter.
It was a scary day to be a window cleaner in Beijing, as strong winds left several people swinging from a skyscraper. Onlookers watched the crew slowly descend the towering CCTV headquarters, while the cables swayed precariously. The skyscraper is one of the tallest in Beijing at 243 meters. Local news outlets reported wind gusts of up to 100 kilometers per hour in the city. Building staff reported that the workers were doing an annual cleaning and that they all safely returned to the ground.
Well, Jimmy, what's the weather forecast for today? Now, Michael, you know, it's very strong winds and a very big storm brewing as well. About 80 miles per hour winds today. Ah, goody. So in that case, we'll climb the highest skyscraper in the country and we'll clean ourselves some windows.
Please watch this. Do you remember this? Do you remember when this happened? Because this is embarrassing.
Free fries when you get back. I got back. You're saying I could get this? These delicious fries? Wait a minute. But there's also a burger element to this? Let me check with Bill Neathart. Is it too early in the day to eat this could be breakfast? Okay. I want you to look at this and think about, again, some people love hamburgers, some don't. Really want to respect all ways of life. But if this is appealing to you, just think of this when you think of I'm getting a very good feeling about that right this moment.
Everyone be quiet, be a good boy and a good girl, and we'll go out for ice cream, okay? You gotta be good now. You gotta be good. You do the good thing. If you be good, we can go for cake and ice cream later, okay? You be a good boy and be a good girl. Come and take your medicine. Don't worry, I put sugar in it. I made it nice and sweet for you, okay? Okay? You gotta take it. If you do it, I'll give you a free hamburger. You want a free hamburger? A free hamburger to do it? Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta take it or get your free hamburger and your free french fries. You know, when I saw this is when I knew something fishy was going on, because this is just embarrassing, honestly. Trying to bribe us with hamburgers and french fries. What am I, 4 years old? Of course, this is satire and entertainment only. They would never do that. I love you all. This is entertainment only. And I'm just joking. Doesn't matter what people do. You know, we should do exactly what we're told. That's what we should do. Love you all. Do what you're told.
I only have 2 words to describe those times, and that's Clown World.
Patient what for a bladder stone, turns out it's a calcified baby she never birthed.
That is absolutely horrifying on so many levels. I mean, put yourself in her shoes. You know, you're going to the doctors, you're wanting to see what's wrong with you, and the next thing, you know, this happens. I mean, you would definitely be seeking some form of counseling after that.
Make it make sense. Deli cheese in a plastic bag, bread in a plastic bag, almond milk in a plastic jug, blueberries in a plastic carton, paper towels in a plastic wrap, peppers in plastic bags for your produce, meat wrapped in plastic, but they won't give you a plastic bag or a brown bag, unless if you pay for it, of course, because we're saving the environment. Anybody explain that?
We live in a world of lies. Now it's been explained.
There's a game being played, we're being played like a fiddle.
Watch closely.
The 1% will do anything to ensure they fulfill that 2030 agenda, while also filling up their own pockets. But in terms of Elon Musk, what's your honest opinion about him?
Is that a cow? No, it's not a cow. It's a mole person, and there's reports of this are being seen during daylight hours. It's a dangerous cryptid. Oh, very dangerous. You see that? That's a mole person.
And hay un... Güey, como...
This creepy video comes from Not Zara on YouTube. I'll tag her below. And she travels all around the world while sharing the local legends of each place she goes. But when she went to Japan, it did not go well. Because while sharing a story of the yokai, which is a supernatural entity with animal-like features, she begins to be followed by someone or something. Now it should be noted that she wasn't sure she was being followed. That is, until she went down an alleyway, where it somehow ended up in front of her. But definitely go check out the whole thing over on her channel, and let me know, what do you think?
3 veces, y entonces así, el fantasma va a entender qué es eso. Güey, es una persona, pero está como parada bien raro, y está viendo hacia acá. Güey. O sea, no se mueve. No se mueve. Güey, ¿por qué no se mueve? ¿Qué pedo? No le quiero dar la espalda. Uy, ¿qué pedo? No se mueve. Si es una persona, me empezó a dar mucho miedo. No sé qué, pero algo acerca de esta figura no me parecía humana. No sé si es el hecho de que se le veía una cara muy larga, o que no podía ver sus brazos, o que solo estaba ahí parada sin hacer nada.
Among You came to mind whenever they showed the clip of the dude, but honestly, is it a yokai, or is it just something that she set up herself for some views? I'll let you be the judge of that.
Copper blocks radio frequencies. And what are they trying to put out all over the place? Cell phone towers, so that they can come into your home. So when you get into copper, it actually blocks radio frequencies and works to help protect the body. So if you wear copper too, it helps to protect the body too. But don't want to tell anybody that. Got to sell them some DuPont plastic instead. People who are going against it are the people to keep you sick and poisoned and just keep you in a perpetual loop. That's all it comes down to. Honestly, like everything I've realized is people just want to keep people at a low frequency, not teach them about copper, not teach them about any of that stuff. It just keeps them in this perpetual loop of sickness. And I've had people who've reached out, they have taken copper and wrapped, for example, their arm, and all of their inflammation in their arm has gone away. It's cost like $2. They didn't have to take any weird inflammation pills that came with like 10,000 side effects, including none of that. All they had to do was get a little copper and then just wrap that area that they were feeling the inflammation, or their body sending out a signal that's saying there's a lot of inflammation and pain and too much electricity in this area, and the copper helps ground that and balance it out.
I've heard that drinking out of a copper mug can actually lead to organ failure. Now, I don't know how true those claims are, so as always, be sure to do your own research.
In God we trust. Who's the God they're talking about? The US dollar bill has an ancient Egyptian pyramid with 13 blocks and a Masonic all-seeing eye printed on it. Under the pyramid in Roman numerals is the year 1776. It's a coincidence that the Bavarian Illuminati was inaugurated in 1776. In Washington, D.C., City of London and Vatican City, there are large obelisk structures. Obelisks are ancient Egyptian structures that honor the pagan sun god of ancient Egypt called Amenra. The streets of Washington, D.C. form a pentagram with the White House at the bottom point. A pentagram is another pagan symbol. So, who is the God they trust?
All members of the Council on Foreign Relations are Illuminists. Members of the Trilateral Commission, members of the Club of Rome, the Skull and Bones Fraternity,
Yep.
the Bohemian Society. Here's a group of presidents up there with black robes, like Klansmen, sitting around this huge bonfire at the Bohemian Grove.
We have color pictures of the presidents of the United States, all living presidents today, and dressed in large black robes with pointed headdresses like the Ku Klux Klan, in front of a large open fire pit, a pit of fire. In the article that appeared said that it was after 12 midnight, all the American presidents line up on this altar and worship the owl. And they said the reason why the owl is used in their worship is because It is wise because it is able to see things in the dark. There's a message there.
The world is changing. Unrest, war, and poverty are plastered across our news screens, and the many slumber in blissful ignorance as the elite slowly desensitize and indoctrinate us to their agenda. This clandestine order moves in the shadows, shaping the course of history to suit their insatiable desires. They are the architects of chaos, the puppet masters of nations, and their influence knows no bounds. But fear not, for the truth shall not remain hidden forever. Share the messages I am sharing so we can expose the truth together.
I understand for many of us that we've already known this, but this is more aimed at people who are only awake, but also is still a good refresher.
Do you guys see what's going on in Texas? Have you guys ever seen this before? Have you guys ever seen this happen in Texas before? Look at this, y'all. What is this?
Just supposed to pretend that's natural.
This was brought to my attention yesterday, right? And I showed you what happened in Texas yesterday. Check this out. This came about in Texas yesterday. You guys can see this perfect sphere in the atmosphere, and there's something within it that's supercharged. Look, that's charging the atmosphere. You can see this solid object there because the light is like refracting off of it. You guys can see that. It's like a square. There's something there, right? In Texas. This is literally in Texas yesterday. So after this took place, Texas has now a heat wave coming towards it, y'all. Check this out. So there is currently a major heat wave, right, that's heading towards Mexico, coming from Texas, and is moving to Northern California and Arizona. Said by June 8th, y'all. See, I'm connecting the dots, y'all, because I told you after that weird anomaly with that in the sky, with that rainbow supercharging the atmosphere, something weird was going to happen, y'all. I told y'all. And now look at this. All I know is this year, Texas has been getting it. I don't know what's going on in Texas, but Texas has literally been getting it.
My prayers to you guys in Texas. I mean, you've been going through a lot this year, and not just in terms of storms either.
Guys, look at the state of these toys. This is in Mayday Children's Department in the hospital. That looks like a build-up of bogey, food, mold. Like, what is that? Chopped up onions? Like, this is not looking good. Look, it's the Children's Emergency Department. I just filmed up here, but I don't know what that is. But so you can't see anyone else in here. But this is literally the children's reception in Croydon Hospital. But look again, what is that? So even if you bring your child in with even if you bring your child here and they've got like a little virus, they are leaving with I don't even know what, because I don't let my child play with this stuff anyway, but imagine they touch this, which I don't even know, mold, I don't know, then they're touching their face, because kids do that. Like, they really need to do better. I would really think that these was cleaned thoroughly every day, multiple times a day, because that looks like a death trap.
You're taking your sick child to a hospital to get healthy, not taking your healthy child to go to a hospital to get sick.
Okay, where is this car that's reflecting on this Boston Pizza window? It's a Corvette C8. I seriously don't see that car anywhere. Where's that car? What? Where is that car? Hello, where's that car? Where is this car?
The first clip I believe is fake because it showed a red car and a white truck, but when he panned the camera around, those vehicles weren't there.
I don't know if you can see it.
What the fuck is that?
Hi, kitty cat. That is not a cat. That is not a cat.
Ready? Look. 1, 2. Oh shoot, my phone won't reach. 3. Look. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. Oh. Look. 4. We have 4. There are 4. They're all okay. Okay.
Always remember that when you're in the middle of nowhere and you're being chased by a psycho killer wearing a skull, it's always best practice to keep your lights on.
Hey, come here, look at me. Hey, look at me. What'd I say? No. Come here, look at me. Hey, look at me. No.
First, who are victims of domestic violence, a Webster family who lost a loved one has been pushing for the change. Anchor investigative.
I know I'm not fucking tripping. Did you guys just see that fly fucking appear in her eye? It literally appeared out of nowhere. What the hell? And then when the fly falls from her eye, you can hear her go, and then she just continues talking like nothing happened. Like she didn't just swallow a fly on live television that appeared out of her eyeball.
Not only did that fly come out of her eye, she literally zapped that thing like a reptilian back into her mouth and swallowed it.
So this is China's Kunlun Mountains, one of China's 10 forbidden areas. To me, this looks like a petrified spine bone from an ancient creature, like a dragon of some sort maybe. Why is this location forbidden? More importantly, what could split a mountain like this? They have been trying to hide this mountain for a long time, and finally some footage just came out. Before you jump on the bandwagon and say this is AI, it's not. Go and do some research, guys. Petrified bones and beings of creatures that once lived are spread across all the lands, and people really need to wake up and see the real truth, because it's one of the biggest cover-ups ever. The demonic entities who run our realm don't want us to know that these mythical creatures were actually once real and living, and they killed them off over time to fit the New World agenda. Why do you think the mythical creatures and dragons and giants and other beings that are part of our lives and stories are actually there? You can't just make something up that didn't exist at one point, can you? Why are these creatures a big part of our lives, and why do we still don't believe that they exist? Because they don't want us to know the real truth, and they don't want us to know the real history, not his story. And this is another skeleton that was found in the same mountain region here. Do you know what I'm saying? Get to know, guys. Wake up, man. Peace and love. Modern day prophet.
I guess there's one thing we can say about China that we can't say about our own countries, and that's that China has a backbone.
Hey man, just want to let you know that sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up.
That's almost all I have for you today, guys, but if you enjoyed the compilation, smash that like button and subscribe button so we can hit that 25,000 subscriber goal. And until the next video, look after yourselves, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you then.
This was the result of a formula which was given to me by a man who landed a ship at my airport in 1953. And we put this formula under research, tested a number of experiments on a bench in a good electronics lab in Chicago, and we produced phenomenal results with evidence that we should do it on a larger scale in order to be able to do more with it. And this evolved out of something that started in 1953 into a 4-story high machine that we're working on down there today. Our formula has no time factor, which electronic formula does have. And on the other hand, electronic science has only had 2 dimensions to work with, the electric pattern and the magnetic pattern perpendicular to it. And we discovered a 3rd zone, which we call a time zone, and we are working through this zone with an effort to orient the magnetic field to give us other results than our science can obtain at present. This isn't a little box. This is a 4-story machine focusing fields that we can orient to produce this zone big enough for a man to get into. We've discovered this zone is subject to thought. Now, since time doesn't record events the way we do on calendars and clocks, you could only record an event by thinking of it. Now, theoretically, we believe we can take a videotape magnetic camera into the time zone and photograph Lincoln's Gettysburg Address or Caesar's armies marching or anything that's ever happened. You know how you talk into a tape on a tape recorder and play the interruptions back, identical to the play that you made. The Earth's magnetic field is the same way. You can put interruptions into it and play them back out of it. An associate of ours in creating a magnetic coupler with this principle coupled in the Earth's magnetic field and played back TV shows from stations that aren't even in business anymore. It was conducted in Santa Monica by an associate of mine.
Why hasn't this hit the headlines throughout the world? That's a time machine in action. In fact,
Jack, the reason it hasn't hit the world is because, as I understand it now, the Navy Department took him and the research over because he also discovered he could bounce magnetic echoes off the ionosphere and locate submarines under the ocean, regardless of where they were.
So who is this associate of yours?
This is a fellow named Charlie Arts.
Charlie Arts?
Yeah.
And is he a free man walking around today?
Well, he's free where he is in this super secret research he's conducting.
Now, so therefore you tell me soberly in front of the television camera that things, old television programs have been recreated out of nothing.
Played back with a picture and the sound just as good as the day they were broadcast. We've done this many times.
Why didn't you bring one up with you?
Well, this requires quite a piece of apparatus. This magnetic coupler works on around 50,000 volts, and it doesn't have any radio frequency connected with it. And actually, the television set which plays back the picture doesn't even have an antenna connected to it.
George, you know as well as I do, and you've been on television 350 times, and I've known you. I've met you once 7 years ago, and I kind of like you.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what the people out there are saying. They're saying this man's a nut.
Well, Jack, you know, when Fulton was running his steamboat up the Hudson River, there were people still standing on the bank saying it couldn't be done.
All right, let me take you back, though. You have a time machine plan. You have done experiments which show you can bring the past to life. Where did this formula come from?
The formula came from a ship that landed at my airport in 1953 on August the 24th, which had 4 people aboard it that came from another planet. I'm a bigger skeptic than you are of many things.
I'm an unbeliever. Convince me that this really happened to you.
Well, this thing is very similar to a thing that happened in our biblical records where a Lord presented Moses with a pattern to build a tabernacle. They came out of the sky, they handed him stone tablets, and this phenomena that's taking place today is as old as our history, as our civilization. This isn't anything new that's occurring. It's something that's being continued in another time of crisis when conditions affecting the people of this planet are reaching a point where somebody has to take care of the situation.